What is up, Booger Beans? Welcome back to another episode of Adventures with Boog. On this episode, we are going to get this door installed. So we got this door from Habitat for Humanity for 120 bucks with the window and everything in it. So
we got it from Restore. We're not stealing from Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah. So we got a pretty good deal on that. And then Grandpa, shout out to Grandpa and Grandma for keeping stuff in the garage for years and years.
For the hoarding.
We got some hinges from Grandpa from a arena project in the 1980s. So they're perfectly fine hinges, brand new in the box. And then we also went to Home Depot and picked up a smart lock. So that lock is going to be what we put on the door. We're not going to have a deadbolt. It's all just going to be this lock.
But
so.
Don't break it anyway.
Yeah. So that's what we're up to. But before we get into the episode, go down, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, comment your favorite type of ice cream, and maybe we'll try them out on the next episode.
Ooh, trying ice cream.
Yeah.
We could do that in a live.
We could. Live on Saturday mornings.
Maybe not, though. We're going to change that next week.
Maybe not. We'll change that next week. It will actually be at noon, right?
Yeah.
Saturday at noon. I guess it could be morning if you tune in at 11:59.
Oh, you won't be there.
But yeah, Saturday morning, noon, on Instagram. We'll be live with, I guess, Lunch with Boog.
Lunch with Boog.
And yeah, let's get this door installed and figure out what the heck, how we're going to do this.
Let's do it.
We have no clue.
No clue.
Cool. Okay. Alright, Booger Beans. So me and Sid have kind of chatted and figured out our plan of action, plan of attack. So what we're going to do is we have some C-channel that we ordered for the sliding door that we aren't going to be using for the sliding door anymore. And what we're going to use is we're going to start using that for our door frame. So on the bottom here, we're going to cut a piece that fits in between these two, I don't know, like frames of the bus, I guess. We're going to fit a piece of channel that fits in there, and then we're going to tack weld it in place. Then what we're going to do is measure from that piece of channel up and do the exact same thing on the top at the height of the door. Then after that, we are going to put in the side frames and mount the door to the side frames. We don't have the side frames right now, so I don't know if I don't know how we're going to get them. I don't know if we're going to find them somewhere or if we're going to improvise or something.
We'll figure it out.
But we'll figure it out. But for right now, we're going to get a C-channel and get it installed. Alright guys, so today what we've been working on is getting this piece of channel made. So the door spacing is 31 3/4 wide, and our door is 29 3/4. So we need to slim down the door frame a little bit to fit the door. We also have to make it a bit shorter. So on the top there we've put in a piece of rectangle tubing. Actually 2 pieces of square tubing welded together to make a rectangle up top. And then we built this piece of C-channel out of another piece of C-channel that was too big. And yeah, it was a lot of welding, but it was kind of fun actually. A lot of TIG welding, which I like doing, so that was kind of enjoyable. But now I think we need to get the door and test fit it in here, because I put the hinges on the door.
Did you? I didn't
Yeah.
even notice.
So the hinges are on the door. So once we put the door in here, it should be
fit.
Yeah, it should be the finished spacing.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't fit, then we screwed up.
Great.
So let's go grab the door and see what happens. Okay, Beans. So the door is basically in there, and it looks like a really good fit.
Yeah, it does look pretty good.
There we have to put a piece of metal in here to space for the hinges, but we knew that was going to be
These are pretty big hinges.
Yeah, they are pretty big. These are non-removable pin hinges, so that
Just try and break in.
yeah, so that the pin or the hinge can be on the outside of the door, and no one can just pop the hinge and pull the door out.
They can just smash the window though.
they could just smash the window. That's probably the option they'll take. But now what we're gonna do is I got these pieces of 1/8 metal cut, and I'm gonna put them in there at whatever spacing we need. But I needed to put the door in here first so that I could figure out what kind of spacing we need. And then we are gonna have to get a piece of something and space it up underneath the door a little bit. Looks like that side needs to go down, this side needs to go up.
Well, I don't think the box that we were given is perfectly square.
No, it wasn't.
So,
we measured it and
yeah.
it wasn't perfectly square.
So it's a little bit finicky to get something that is perfectly square correct in there.
Yeah, that's true. But there is enough space for movement on it right now.
Yeah.
And we are going to be putting weather stripping obviously all around the door and everything to seal it up. But I think we're in pretty good shape here,
Yeah.
like right now. Yeah, so what we got to do is get those, we got to mark where those hinges are with a marker, obviously.
Obviously, don't have one, no.
Don't have one. So we'll have to mark where the hinges are, and then we'll put the pieces of 1/8
Everywhere
steel
else.
in there. But we need to get something underneath the door
To lift it up.
to lift it up, that 1/4 inch. And then not 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch. So I got some of the 1/8 inch plate. We'll stick it up, lift it up, then we'll put those plates on, and then we'll know where it is.
Okay.
Yeah, do you have any questions?
I do have a question.
Okay.
What are we doing about these holes?
I was just going to spray foam fill them,
Okay.
and then
With paint.
bondo them
Yeah.
and sand it and paint it.
Normal. Perfect.
Just finish it up like an auto body hole. I would weld it, but the thing is the inside of this door is wood. So if you
just
welded that, it would probably burn the door down. So we don't really want to do that. Or we could just put some screws in them or something. We'll figure it out. Or we could put like some door locks, extra door locks
On the outside.
on the outside. Just so that we can lock ourselves in if we need, in case of the nuclear apocalypse or zombie attack.
We actually couldn't lock ourselves in because we would have to be on the outside to put them on.
We'll get the zombies to lock us in. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna space up that bottom, then we're gonna figure out where those go, then we're gonna tack it in place, then we're gonna screw the door on, then we're gonna install a door handle, then we're gonna cut a hole for this. Actually, we're gonna cut the hole for this, then install the door handle, and then the door is ready to go and we can live in it.
Do you think I can install the door handle?
You can try,
Okay.
yeah. The one thing I'm worried about is we're not gonna have enough space here.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that too.
Yeah. So, I was kind of looking at that today, and I think it's going to be too big.
Parts. We'll figure it out. It's fine. No big deal.
So hopefully we have a bit of
I
play in
gotta
there.
scrape this paint off too. There's paint on it.
Yep.
I can use my razor blade tool.
Okay, let's do it.
Your heart is gonna find a way. Don't you worry now about setting love free. Yeah, that's when you're gonna start to see better lies and better times of history.
Okay, Booger Beans.
It's a door! We got a door!
It is a door. Door handle works, and it's
opens
got
and closes.
a keypad code. So when we close it, the door can lock, and then we put in the code to open the door. That way, if we go out somewhere, we don't have to carry keys with us.
Yeah, they lost them.
We can have that all locked. So just a couple things we got to do to finish up the door. Like the door is in here, but we have to finish weld all of this, make it nice and tight.
Seal some stuff.
Same on this side, we got to put a finish weld. We got to put weather stripping all the way around the door, and then on the inside of the door, we got to put a piece of threshold or
Yeah, something to make it stop.
some sort of metal. Because right now, if you push the door, it goes actually past where the latch is. So we don't want that. And obviously we want it to seal for the weather. So if there was wind pushing on it or whatever, it would lock it against that threshold. So yeah, that's where we're at. Basically done.
Pretty much.
A little bit more welding, some weather stripping, some threshold. It's good. This top guy, because the frame wasn't square, when we put it in, it's off base. So we gotta smash it out and
Again.
line it back up for the third time. But yeah,
She's
I'm pretty stoked.
Me too.
And I'm really glad that this door handle fit. It is so tight, like,
It's literally a perfect fit.
yeah, there is no space
No
for
wiggle
anything
room.
else. But yeah, it's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Cool. Okay, Booger Beans, so we are just taking a little break from the door because we've got another project going on in the shop. Not for Adventures of Boog, but just for my sister and brother-in-law, and doing some work on a horse trailer for them. So we're just waiting to wrap that up. Should have that wrapped up in the next day or two. And yeah, then we'll move the bus back into the shop and get the door finished welded up and get the thresholds put on and all that stuff all finished. But in the meantime, what we're going to do is do some more paneling and wainscoting and all that kind of stuff in the back of the bus here. So I've got to put up some, like, kind of, I don't know what you call them, I guess shims, basically to space out some of the wall panels that we have back here, as well as we're going to start putting up the bathroom walls, basically, and actually get that framed in, and I want to say finished, but I don't know if we'll get that far. But that's the plan. And yeah, let's get cracking away on it here. Okay, Booger Beans. So I am going to be putting in a piece of 1/4-inch plywood for this bathroom wall behind me here, and I'm going to try doing something that I've never seen anyone on a school bus do before, but I've seen it in industry as well as on YouTube a couple times. Something called a ticking stick. So what you do is you get a big stick, basically, with some features on the end that you can easily trace, but that they can only be traced in one orientation. So just some weird angles and whatever else. Then what you do is you get a piece of wood or a piece of cardboard, and I'm going to use this as the base. So as the bottom left corner of the sheet of plywood, actually this one, the bottom left corner of the sheet of plywood that we're going to be putting on the wall, I'll match up with this bottom left corner of the sheet of plywood. Then I put the ticking stick on here and put it into all the features that we need to arrange, and I trace the ticking stick on all of those spots. Then I can transfer this to the piece of plywood inside the garage and basically do a connect the dots with the tip. I put a little dot at the tip of every part where it goes on here, and then it should work perfectly. I've never done this before. I've seen it done a couple times, so I'm going to try it and see if it works. And if it does, maybe it will be a new thing in skoolie building. So let's try it out here. So, I don't know if you guys can see down there. Okay, so you guys can see down there. Okay, so to start, I'm going to mark this and go here. Actually, it's bottom right. Okay, and I'm going to put this in line with the wall and in line with a mark that I put on the wall earlier. So I've got that mark right there, that mark right there. It should be nice and square with the side here. Just like that, like that. And I'm just going to put a couple brad nails in it, maybe. Just a couple of brad nails just to hold it on the wall. So now, what I can do is take the ticking stick and we can stick it into every single point of the roof and trace the ticking stick on the piece of wood. Now the only problem with this currently is I need a couple more features because I don't have anything that's short enough here to mark on the wood. So I need to cut a couple little notches in here so that I know exactly where to line up the piece of wood. So that's what I'm going to do now, just cut a couple notches. So again, these don't have to be pretty. all they have to be able to do is mark where the piece of wood is.
I used to be kinda sane. I used to act kinda normal. I couldn't complain. Now it's never the same. I find myself picking pieces of my scattered brain. Look what you've done to me. And
Okay, so now I've got this board absolutely covered in marks, but the little square that is on each one of those only lines up with this ticking stick in one location. It never duplicates. So what I can do now is I'll take the ticking stick inside, I'll take this guy inside, and we'll clip this in the bottom corner of the piece of plywood. We'll put the ticking stick, line it up with each one of these marks, and just put a little dot at the tip of the ticking stick. And then we'll just connect the dots, and we should get a very close match to what's going on the ceiling up there. And if this works, I'll be really surprised, and I'll be really happy too. So let's just pull this guy off and go and see what we can get up to here.
losing it completely. I wish that I was a madman. So bad maybe I wouldn't fall for you. Because you made me a madman. And I lose it all when I'm with you.
We got this panel and this roof pan, or this top wall panel, all installed. The ticking stick did not work with the dam. I needed to maybe have a bit more precise stick, then it would have worked better. There's a hole in the roof over there that I need to fix. Then it probably would have worked a little bit better. But yeah, it's in there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the wall, or the wainscoting on the outside of this fireplace location and bathroom, and then I'm gonna try and keep trugging along and try and get the rest of the bathroom all paneled out and finished up. I don't know if that's gonna happen or not, but I'm gonna try. So let's keep trugging. Okay, booger beans. So we actually got all the wainscoting on the outside of the bathroom complete, and it looks freaking awesome. Looks really nice. It really takes the bus from like looking like a project to having like house kind of feel. It really takes it up that whole notch, which is really nice. So now what I'm gonna do is start working inside the bathroom and try and get the wainscoting and that kind of stuff done inside the bathroom. The problem is it's a super tiny space.
It's really small.
And I'm not excited about it.
It's very uncomfortable to be in there.
Yeah, it's super uncomfy to be in there. It's super small. At least that means that no one will come into our bus and like drop a big poop.
They might.
No, because it's uncomfy to be in there.
You gotta poo though.
Rude. So yeah, we're gonna try and get in there. I'm probably not going to show you it because I can't get the camera like a wide enough angle. So I'll just work in there, and then when it's finished, if it's finished, I'll bring you guys back in.
Well, eventually it will be finished.
Yeah, if not, then the next stuff will probably be welding on the door, but we got to get Brandon's trailer out of the shop first before we can move this back in the shop so we can weld more.
Welding gas.
No, I have gas. I don't have TIG gas for the aluminum diesel tank that I'm working on too. I got like 52 projects on the go. So.
Famous for it.
Yep, so that's what I'm gonna do now. Let's get. Okay, Beans, check it out. We have got most of the water closet wainscoting in. Basically just got this panel to do on the wall here. And once that panel's done, then we can put in a door for the bathroom. So, I guess the water closet with no water. But yeah, that's basically it for tonight. Maybe tomorrow, maybe we'll move the bus back in the shop and try and get the welding done, but I don't know for sure. So, yeah, that's where we're at. And we'll talk to you later.
Okay, try to be brave. You have so much to say.